I guess this is a time for you guys just to try things out, figure out what you like, what you don't like, what you're good at, what you're not so good at, and just take those risks because, yeah, I guess for me, like coming from a non-football or AFL state, you know, sort of being smaller, having some injuries and that, there was certainly no guarantees of me making it to the AFL, let alone playing for sort of 10 years. So yeah, just try things, aim high, don't let anyone tell you that you can't. I decided to not go to uni or anything like that. I was gonna focus on footy for 1 year, and at that point, the Gold Coast Suns were coming into, I guess, existence, and they had an under-18s team that year. They were then going to progress into the VFL and then into the AFL. The Gold Coast actually came to me and offered me a contract, and I had the decision whether to take that guaranteed contract or the risk of going into the draft. That was one of the hardest decisions I've had to make, because if I went into the draft and wasn't drafted and knocked back the Gold Coast, it would obviously be quite embarrassing. So I tossed and turned over that decision, eventually decided that I always wanted to, I guess, aim big. If I could go into the draft and get drafted, preferably to a Melbourne club, where obviously footy or AFL is very popular. You get to play in front of big crowds, the MCG, all that stuff. That was my goal, so I thought, well, I don't want to spend a year in the VFL with the Gold Coast. I want to take the risk, and so thankfully that risk paid off and I was drafted to Collingwood, which is basically where I've been for the last 9 to 10 years, and definitely one of the best decisions I've made. It's a great club. As I said, everything that I wanted to do there has basically happened, playing in front of the big crowds. You know, it's got an amazing support network down there. It was very challenging early days, moving away from Brisbane, my home, my friends, family. I've played 90 games or thereabouts, and we played in the grand final last year, which we lost by about 5 points with 2 minutes to go. But all in all, such a great experience. And the pre-game for the grand final is so much longer. There's national anthems and all this stuff. So everything just happens so quick. And next thing you know, you're out there. In Melbourne, the day before, they have a grand final parade. So literally it's a public holiday in Melbourne, and you go around on the back of little trucks, and the whole streets are closed, and you get driven through the city and just wave, and there's fans everywhere. So the whole sort of week in itself is quite amazing. And even though, as I said, we didn't win, I certainly look back on it with very fond memories. Yeah, well, my hero is a player called Chris Judd. He's quite a good player. He's won 2 Brownlow medals. He was my football idol, and was lucky enough to actually play on him at one point early in my career, which was quite cool. My main message to the students today was just to aim high and dream big, I guess. I touched on my football journey, and obviously coming from Brisbane and progressing through to playing for Collingwood, and I guess the setbacks along the way and the challenges that come with it. But just to, I guess, aim high and believe in yourself, and you never know where you can get. So hope that students took something away from it.